Yes, good afternoon, students. We meet again with the next chapter, that is chapter 6, called as plant water relation. Okay, now in this, the very first slide, what do you see? Basically, you see that there are seeds in the soil and you can see them germinate. Okay, now, now what do you understand by this entire sentence? Plant water relation. Yes, so we need to understand that plants need water and there is a particular relationship between the plant and the water. That means for a plant to grow, it needs water. Yes, so you might have grown plants in the house, right? Now, what do when you plant a seed in a pot? Here you can see, unless and until you water the seed, will the seed grow or germinate? No, it will not, right? So here in this particular chapter, we are going to understand what is the importance of water in the growth of a plant. Okay, now before we go to how water is useful, first of all you need to understand what are the properties of water. Now all of us know water, whatever you take in water and you dissolve it, it will dissolve. So what it is a liquid form, right? At the room temperature, and it's the best solvent. मतलब उसके अंदर कुछ भी घुल सकता है, पानी के अंदर कुछ भी घुलेगा. आप नमक डालते हो, चीनी डालते हो, दूध डालते हो, anything, anything dissolves in water, right? And what else? Does it have any particular pH? No, it is neutral, isn't it? So, and whatever is present in our body and in the plants, everything is maximum is water, right? So we say, what do we say? We say that the water is the elixir of life and it contains about 90 to 90% of the plant cells contain water. Now, and as you see here in the slide, without water, no reactions take place. For every reaction, you need water. And when you say our body, 70 to 75% is all water. So what the blood that we have is maximum water with different substances dissolved in it. Yes, organic, inorganic substances are dissolved, right? Yes, yes or no? The vitamins, minerals. In the same way, when we talk, so that is basically water, right? Now, when you talk about water, it is basically a raw material also for the photosynthesis. It is a raw material for different biochemical reactions that are taking place in the cell. Yes. So, without water, nothing is possible. Now, even if you put a seed in a soil and you don't water it, what would happen? Will the minerals be absorbed by the seed without water? No, because water is the medium through which the different minerals will go up to the seed for germination, right? So we need water, yes, and water, as you know, has a high specific heat and a high heat of vaporization also. It maintains. So for every particular reaction, we need a particular temperature. And the water is the best raw material for any kind of reaction. And it's a pure form, isn't it? So when we talk about water, go to the next slide. When we talk about in this particular chapter, you need to understand certain terms that are involved in this particular chapter. Now say, what is cohesion? and adhesion. Now, what do you mean by see? As you can see here in the diagram, what do you mean by cohesion? Now, here you can see the two water droplets. So, what is cohesion? Water molecules stick together. So, here you can see the two water molecules have been sticking together. So, that is cohesion. And what is adhesion? When water molecules form hydrogen bonds with other molecule. So, it acts as an adhesion. We say the gum acts as an adhesive. Adhesive, it sticks. Yes, cohesion is two similar things. Adhesion, one thing sticks to the another thing. Okay. Now, the third term involved here is the capillary action. Now, here in the capillary action, what do you see here? You see here a beaker and you see a tube above, right? Now, in the chemistry lab, I hope so, you might have used a capillary tube, a very, very thin capillary tube of glass. So, when you dip that capillary tube in the beaker of water, you will see the water starts rising in that capillary tube. So, what is that? So, there is a capillary action. Okay. So, the tendency of the water to move up a narrow tube against the force of gravity. Gravity क्या होता है? नीचे की तरफ गिरता है, पर कैपिलरी एक्शन क्या है? नीचे से ऊपर की तरफ में पानी जा रहा है. ओके, नाउ यू विल फाइंड दैट हाउ इज दैट सो कि नीचे से ऊपर पानी कैसे जा रहा है? जैसे अगर आप देखोगे, व्हेन यू विल सी से अ वॉल, ओके, इफ यू सी अ वॉल एंड देयर इज एट द बेस ऑफ द वॉल मट्टी की वॉल है और आप नीचे की तरफ में काफी सारे पानी भरा है, ठीक है, तो क्या होगा? कुछ देर के बाद आप देखेंगे वो वॉल के ऊपर सीलन हो गई है, पानी आप देखेंगे कि वॉल की तरफ ऊपर की तरफ चढ़ रहा है. So the water is climbing up. So what is that? That's a capillary action. So maybe it's not in a thin tube, but it's a capillary action. So it's getting absorbed. So we will see ahead how does this capillary action actually work in case of plants. When we say it is, when you take a seed and you water it in the soil, you will see that in the previous slide what you saw here, you can see here in the seed is germinating and the radicle and the plumule is coming out, the roots are coming out, right? Now you can see once that the root will start absorbing water, the water will go up to the stem, right? So when you talk about a plant, the plant has a root and a shoot system. Okay, so here you can see, what do you see? The plant body basically consists of a root system and a shoot system. Root जो नीचे की तरफ है, मट्टी के अंदर है, और जो shoot system है जो ऊपर की तरफ है, सॉइल के ऊपर है. सो दैट सॉइल के ऊपर वाला पार्ट हम क्या कहते हैं? शूट सिस्टम कहते हैं, और मट्टी के नीचे वाला पार्ट को हम रूट सिस्टम कहते हैं. तो रूट क्या करता है? हम सबको पता है कि वो ऑब्जॉर्ब करता है, पौधे को मट्टी में पकड़ के रखता है, स्टोर करता है. जैसे हम लोग ने देखा मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ रूट, राइट? वी हैड सीन दैट, राइट? देन इट ट्रांसपोर्ट्स वाटर. सो व्हाटएवर इट विल absorb, that has been absorbed by the roots and it's been transported above up to the stem, to the leaves, to the flowers, to the fruits that is going to grow. Yes, in the same way, whatever is been transported from the root, it goes up to the shoot. So that shoot also, you will see, has a function. The photosynthesis has the function of reproduction, has a function of modification of stem that we had seen. Yes or no? So here when you talk about a seed and it germinates into a radicle and a plumule, it forms a root and a shoot system. Okay, so what happens? The root absorbs water and the water tends to go upward. Okay, so there has to be certain relationship between the plant and the water, and there should be something present in the plants that will carry the water up. upward against the gravity, isn't it? आप कुछ भी डालोगे तो सब कुछ ऊपर से नीचे आता है, और यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे पानी नीचे से ऊपर जा रहा है. Okay, yes. So here, what is the thing that takes the water up? That is the roots. Now here in the 11th standard, you have studied this, right? This is a repetition, the structure of a root. We had seen a taproot, right? Last year in 11th standard, we had seen here in this particular diagram, you can see that the root has a root cap. Now this root cap has what kind of cells? The meristematic cells, which divide and redivide again. So we say that is a region of meristematic activity. So that's how the root tip grows, multiplies, and goes deeper into the soil, digging for more water. So as the meristematic cells divide and redivide, the upper portion to that goes on getting elongated. So that portion is called as the region of elongation. Okay. Now once the region of elongation gets elongated, the above portion you have is the root hair. Now in the beside diagram, you can see that one root hair is very long, the other are the root hairs that are still growing. Okay, so here you could see the root hair growing long and long enough. That means it is spreading. So longer the root, it goes deeper into the soil, digging for more water and minerals, and it will help the plant getting anchored in the soil in a much stronger way. That is why we had studied two kinds of roots in 11th standard. One was tap root and one was adventitious root. Do you all remember? जो धूप ग्रास है, जो अभी अभी हम लोग ने गणपति जी को चढ़ाया, वो वाली ग्रास क्या, वो वाली रूट्स कौन सी है? एडवेंटिशियस रूट्स. तो जब हम उखाड़ते हैं वो रूट को अच्छी से जल्दी से टूट जाती है, वो पौधा मट्टी से तुरंत अलग हो जाता है. पर अगर हम जो रूट फैली हुई है और गड़ी हुई है सॉइल के अंदर, उसको उस पौधे को जमीन से उखाड़ना मुश्किल है, तकलीफ होगी आपको, है ना. तो वो पौधा, कौन सा पौधा मट्टी में बहुत अच्छी तरह से गड़ा हुआ है, जिनकी जड़ें लंबी होंगी और मट्टी के अंदर अच्छे से धसी हुई होंगी. ओके, सो हियर you could see the root hair playing a very important role of absorption. They absorb the water and the minerals with the help of this root hair. And then after that comes the region of the maturation, wherein it is holding the stem erect in the soil. That portion gets matured. Okay, so we could do the next one. So here you can see the soil with the root hair, right? Now here you can see the root hairs and the root hair cell and in and around soil. So अगर मट्टी लूज है तो वो पौधे को अच्छी तरह से नहीं पकड़ेगी, पर अगर मट्टी रूट्स के साथ जकड़ी हुई है तो वो पौधे को अच्छी तरह से मजबूती से सॉइल में पकड़ी रहेगी. और नीचे वाला डायग्राम जो आप देखोगे, क्या देख रहे हो? रूट हेयर जो है, आप क्या देख रहे हो? जो रूट हेयर है, ये जो रूट हेयर है, आप देख रहे हो रूट हेयर से यहां से पानी आया और जा रहा है. कहां से? एपीब्लेमा से. दिस इज द एपीब्लेमा. ओके, and then it is going into the cortex, into the endodermis and into the vessels. Okay, now in 11th standard, what did you study? You had studied about the different kinds of tissues. Yes, what did you study? The different kinds of tissues. One second. Okay, you had studied the simple tissue and the complex tissue in 11th standard. Yes, in the simple tissue you had studied the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma tissue, and in the complex tissue you had studied the xylem and phloem. Yes, do you all remember? Now, so basically what do you study? What do you see here? What are tissues? Is a group of cells that carry a particular function. But here, when we talk about plant and water relationship, we basically talk about uh, the tissues, basically the xylem and the phloem tissue. Now, what is the xylem tissue made up of? It is made up of the xylem vessels, fibers and parenchyma cells. And what does it do? It basically transports water and minerals. So here in this particular diagram, what do you see? The water is absorbed from the soil and it goes up through the stem. Now, who takes the water up to the stem? It is the xylem to the stem. Is it clear? So you can see here the blue arrow that going upward. You will be able to see here. You can see this arrow. So the water and minerals move up the stem in the xylem. Okay. One second. Okay. And the next tissue that you see here is the phloem tissue, which has the sieve tubes and the companion cells. So what does the phloem does? Phloem basically transports sugar. So here you could see the pink arrow coming down. The sugar are made in the leaves through the process of what? Photosynthesis, right? So, but are needed all over the plant. So, does the food, whatever has been manufactured in the process of photosynthesis, does it remain there? No. It comes down with the help of the phloem tissue, with the help of the sieve tubes and the companion cells. Okay. So here you could see, now here in the diagram, you could see that, what do you see? Here you can see here the xylem tissues that carry water carries up to the stem, yes, to the leaves also. Now once that water comes up to the leaf, what undergoes? Photosynthesis that we have studied, right? Now photosynthesis, what does it do? It manufactures food, and the food made by the leaf, what does it do? Food made by the leaf, what happens? It comes to the different parts of the plant, right? So the phloem tissues carry food down from the leaf. Is that clear? Now here in this, you would see the phloem structure here. You can see the sieve plate, yes, and the companion cells and the phloem parenchyma that you have already studied in 11th standard. Clear? Yes. Okay. Is it clear? Then, so these are the ones which are responsible for what? For carrying the food material that has been manufactured during photosynthesis to different parts of the plant. And here the xylem structure. So what does the xylem do? So xylem transports water and minerals from the roots to leaves and contains two types of tissues, basically the tracheids and the vessel elements. So these are the ones, okay, so which will carry the water from the roots to the leaves and the other parts of the body or the plant body. So here you can see here, see the roots, the water has been absorbed up, goes upward, right? So the xylem is one way flow. So you could see the water is flowing upward in one direction. Whereas in phloem, you could see it's a two-way flow, the water and the food. It's been going up and down. So basically as a product of the photosynthesis. So is it clear all of you? Okay. So this is basically what you have studied in 11th standard. Now here, the water transport in the xylem. Now what do you see? The roots take in water through the root hairs and the epidermal cells by osmosis. Now all of you, I hope you know what is osmosis. What happens in osmosis? You might have studied in chemistry. We'll see ahead. What is osmosis? So basically it's a movement of water and there is a semi-permeable membrane, right? I hope so you all recall it from 11th standard. We will see still ahead. So what do you find in here? So water flows from the epidermal cells. So here in the blue one, what do you see? You see here the water flows from the epidermal cells, the cortex, into the vascular cylinder which contains the xylem. Yes. So what do you see? And then the water is being transported in the xylem tissue up through the root into the stem and then the branches into the veins of the leaf and moves to the different tissues. Clear? And one second. And it will also go up to the veins and it moves to the different tissues and the palisade and the spongy mesophyll. These are the parts of the leaf. Okay. So here you can see the epidermis, yes, and you can see the cortex and you can see the endodermis and the vascular cylinder. So you can see the water going up through the xylem. Now here in the water transport in xylem part 2, you can see here most of the water exits the plant through the process of transpiration. Now what is transpiration? The water is being lost from the leaf surface, that we will study ahead. And how does the water loses from the leaf surface? With the help of stomata. There are certain structures that you have seen in 11th standard also, you have studied it. So here you see the water diffuses into the air spaces in the spongy cells and diffuses out of the leaf through the structures called as the stomata. So as each water molecule exits the leaf, another one enters the plant through the roots. Okay. So here you could see the capillary action is taking place, the suction pressure is there, the water has been lost. So as soon as the water is also lost, the water has been going on absorbed. नहीं तो क्या होगा, पौधा सिर्फ पानी लेता रहेगा तो बहुत ज्यादा पानी हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा, पौधा गल जाएगा. So the plant has a mechanism where it also loses certain amount of water from its surface. Okay, so that's a transpiration that we will see later how exactly it works and why does it work. Is it clear? Okay. Now what are the different kinds of water that are available to the roots? So here you can see here the water forms films on soil particles. So which are the different kinds? One, you can see the gravitational water, the capillary water and the hygroscopic water. Now what do you mean the gravitational water? जो भी gravity से पानी को absorb किया जा रहा है. Here, so what happens here? It is the water in the large pores that moves downward freely under the influence of the gravity. So it drains out fast. It is not available to the crops. तो क्या होता है, पानी आपने देखा होगा, पानी जब डालते हैं जितना पौधों को लेना है वो उतना लेता है, बाकी ड्रेन हो जाता है. Yes. So what is that? That water is the gravitational water. So the time of draining out varies from 1 day in sandy soils or to 2 to 3 days in clay soil. Clay में आप देखते होंगे पानी रुकता है, नहीं रुकता है, वो बह जाता है. So that is the gravitational water. Then the second one you find the capillary water. So what happens in the capillary water? So the water has been held in between. Here, so what do you find? It is the amount of water retained by the soil after the gravitational water has drained out. मतलब जो excess पानी है वो gravity से के द्वारा निकल गया, और बाकी का पानी रिटेन हो गया सॉइल में, और फिर वो क्या होगा, वो अब्सॉर्ब हो जाएगा कैपिलरी एक्शन से. So it is a water in the small pores which moves because of the capillary force, and it is called as the capillary water. So the capillary water is the major source of water available for the plants. Okay. Now hygroscopic water. Now what do you mean by hygroscopic water? The remaining water which is held on the particle surfaces so lightly, it is called as hygroscopic water. Now what is that basically? The water has been held by the adhesive force. So what happens? जैसे आप सोचा आप बारिश में गीले हो गए, बारिश में गीले हो गए तो जो बहुत ज्यादा पानी था वो ग्रेविटी की तरह आपके कपड़ों से टपक गया. जो कुछ कपड़ा था, जो पानी था, वो कैपिलरी के द्वारा आपका कपड़ा गीला होता गया नीचे से ऊपर. ठीक है. और आफ्टर थोड़ी देर के बाद जब आप बारिश बंद हो गई, उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उसके बाद वो हाइड्रोस्कोपिक वाटर, दैट द वाटर रिमेन्स देयर इन द क्लॉथ, वो सीलन उस चीज में वहीं पे रहेगी. सो दैट इज द हाइड्रोस्कोपिक वाटर. सो हियर इट विल नो लॉन्गर मूव, सो द वाटर विल नॉट मूव, बट वो सीलन कपड़ों में रहेगी. सो इन द सेम वे जड़ों में पानी, जड़ें जब सॉइल के अंदर हैं, जितना पानी जड़ों में चाहिए उतना रहेगा. सो दैट विल रिमेन एज अ कैपिलरी वाटर. जो एक्सेस अमाउंट है वो ग्रेविटी के द्वारा निकल जाएगा, और जो थोड़ा पानी रहेगा उसमें सीलन रहेगी जड़ों में. सो दैट इज द हाइग्रोस्कोपिक वाटर. इज दैट क्लियर? ओके. सो दिस इज व्हाट इट इज. Now which are the different terms that are involved in this water absorption? Okay. Now the different terms that are involved here is the imbibition, diffusion, and osmosis. Now basically when we talk about imbibition, you will study a practical also of imbibition in particles. Say अगर आपने if you have seen साबुत मूंग या किशमिश, क्या करेंगे आप, अगर उसको आप पानी में डाल देंगे तो क्या होगा, वो साबुत मूंग या चना या किशमिश, what will happen when you soak it in water? It will absorb water, right? And it will absorb water. So what will happen? That is called as imbibition. So what you will see here in this particular experiment here, यहाँ पे हम लोग ने किशमिश को पानी में डाला है, और आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हाट यू विल सी, वो जो किशमिश है जो थोड़ी देर के बाद वो फूल जाएगी एकदम अंगूर की तरह. किशमिश क्या अंगूर है, वो अंगूर को सुखा दिया गया है, और अगर उसको वापस आपने पानी में डाला तो आप देखेंगे वो फिर से फूल जाएगा. So what happens in imbibition? Certain substances, if placed in a particular liquid, absorb it and swell up. मतलब फूल जाएगा. उसका एक और एग्जांपल ऐसे दे सकते हैं हम, जैसे बारिश के दिनों में आप देखोगे दरवाजे फूल जाते हैं. ठीक है. आप देखते होंगे घर के दरवाजे ठीक से बंद नहीं होते, बहुत ज्यादा धक्का मार मार के बंद करना पड़ता है. ओके. So you will find that is called as imbibition. For example, see here it's been mentioned, when a piece of dry wood or a dry seed is placed in water, they will absorb water and they will swell up. So बारिश के दिनों में आप लोग ने देखा होगा कि आपके घर के दरवाजे सब चीजें फूल गए हैं. That is because of imbibition. So the substances are called as imbibants, and the phenomena is called as imbibition. Yes. So what happens? There exists a certain force of attraction between the imbibed and imbibed substances. मतलब वो किशमिश और उस चीज में there is a some kind of a force which retains that water in that particular substance. Okay. So there is in plants, this is because of the presence of large number of hydrophilic colloids both in living as well as dead cells. तो कुछ भी आपने लकड़ी को पानी में डाला है तो लकड़ी कुछ टाइम के बाद फूल जाएगी. यस, तो वो जीवित हो या मरा हुआ हो, वो पानी लेगा और वो फूल जाएगा. सो दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इज इट इज imbibition. Okay, so here both in living as well as dead in the form of proteins, carbohydrates such as starch, cellulose, pectin substances which have strong attraction towards water. So all these substances have a lot of affinity towards water. So you will find that they will swell up because of absorbing water. Now here you can see, what do you see? This is a Venn diagram, right? Now in this Venn diagram you will see that in between you have the imbibition, one side is diffusion and the other side you have the osmosis. Now osmosis, what we will see ahead later. So is this clear, all of you? So this is imbibition here. Okay. Now in diffusion, what is happening in diffusion? So the net movement of particles from an area of high concentration to the area of low concentration. मतलब जहां पे ज्यादा पानी है और जहां पे कम पानी है, there's a random movement of water. Okay, and a passive forces, which means that no energy is needed. मतलब वो passively वो move करेगा. Is it clear? Okay. So we end our lecture from here, wherein you have seen imbibition as well as diffusion. When we see osmosis in the next lecture, you will see that there is a semi-permeable membrane between the lower and the higher concentration. Okay, so I want you to go through the chapter of plant-water relation and see and study up till diffusion. Is it clear? Okay, so I hope all of you have submitted your chapter 1 assignment and chapter 2 assignments with the test and the Google Classroom. Okay, so we meet next time. Thank you. Keep studying. This is the best time. You have the full time for yourself. Okay, thank you.